Hello, ladies. How are you this evening? It is time for Truth Serum Tuesday. I'm hoping that the internet will be okay this evening. I've had some problems with it all day long, so I'm hoping that we'll just be able to have a really quick, short discussion about maintaining graciousness or being gracious in the middle of chaos and overwhelm. And I brought this topic up because I went out for a little bit today and it already is getting a little crazy. And I didn't even go to places like the grocery store or Costco or anything like that. I was just running a couple errands and it seemed like my energy was already being affected by the energy that's being produced. Hey, Tammy, how are you this evening? Nice to have you. We're talking a little bit about how to stay gracious. Well, we are not a little bit. We are talking about how to stay gracious in the middle of chaos and overwhelm. And so many of us are might be experiencing this. Hey, Veronica. Sorry for being so shaky. I need to figure out how to do this a little bit differently. Hey, Gail. How are you? How's your grandmother? Let us know on here. Hey, Veronica. How you doing? Is it your Friday yet? No? I don't know. Okay, so tonight, ladies, I just want to take a really... Hey, Dawn! We're just out in Shasta Lake City visiting somebody out there. I'll have to come to your house sometime. So I want to talk about graciousness in the middle of overwhelm and chaos. So how many of you have already been feeling a little bit of increased stress and overwhelm due to the holidays? Just give a yes in the comments. Tammy says, oh, that she's doing okay. Good. So tell me if you already have, because I was telling the story before all of you got on that I was just out and about today and the energy is already some chaos. I almost got hit by this lady on Eureka Way. She wasn't paying attention and she started merging over to my lane. And I had a reaction like, and my dog was in the car with me too, so I was like even more freaked out because of that. But I swerved over in the other lane and I swerved it back and I was like, geez, right? And I thought, okay, this is just the beginning. Tammy said, oh my God. Gail says she's doing better driving home. Shh, don't tell the cops. Okay, shh, no one tell. I've been doing good, and I've been doing good so far. So this lady almost hit me, and at that moment, I felt myself even getting more wrapped up in this kind of reactionary way. And what I really felt like is that I don't want to have these things affect my own energy. Dawn says, I'm still at my... Oh, okay. Well, I thought about you, friend. I did think about you. We still need to do some coffee or something. So I was thinking, how do I want to be? Because being a sensitive person, I don't know how many other people or how many of you also are highly sensitive, but when I go out, I can feel a lot of energy. And it's almost like I have to maintain my own energy in order to kind of free people of theirs around me. And so the thing I asked myself, and the thing I want to encourage you to ask yourself, hey, Margaret, nice to have you, is who am I focusing on in this moment? So how many of you have ever had an experience where you were so focused on what you weren't getting or what wasn't happening to you? Hey, I can see thumbs up. I love thumbs up and hearts. Thanks, Margaret. How many of you, I can see, I had a squirrel. The thumbs up. Give me a squirrel. So what am I focusing on? When I get really upset or I'm overreactionary and I'm not being the way that I want to be, not my authentic self, Margaret, you're killing me, then I know that I'm thinking purely of myself. So, for instance, if you're standing in line at a grocery store or something and you're just like, like they're going so slow, or I can't believe this is taking so long, I have somewhere to be, don't they know? And obviously they don't know. It's been horrible going out lately. I'm highly sensitive to others around me. It feels like my skin is crawling. Yes. I know it's the energy from others. Yeah. How many of you, thumbs up and hearts, can feel what Gail's talking about? Let me know how many other people on here, because I know that that's real. So when I'm somewhere where there's lots of energy and I say like either I have to get out, so lots of people, I have to get out of here, I have to get out of there. Sometimes I'll just cut my trip short. But when I'm thinking only about myself, that is when I get the most irritated. Like, don't these, again, like I'm saying, don't these people know, or man, that lady is just blah, 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 or I can't believe these cashiers are so slow. Don't they know there's such a long line? Is there not even other people that work here? You know, I've had all of those thoughts in my own head, and it really causes me to pause. So first thing to do is, who am I focusing on? Because when I'm only focusing on myself, guess what? I'm a victim. I just vacuum it all up. Yeah. What do you do with it after you vacuum, Margaret? What do you do after you vacuum? No vacuuming. I don't vacuum it up. I can feel it, but I do not let it, I don't want it to come in. So when I'm focusing only on myself and what's happening to me, I'm a victim. Now, all of us, or maybe the majority of you, know that when I'm focused in kind of this freedom state where I'm not having to accept other people's energy, or I'm not allowing myself to penetrate in such a way where it causes me angst and anxiety, then I'm more setting myself free. And then when I set myself free, it's kind of like you allow others, hey Karen, you allow others to kind of relax into it. So if I absorbed all that energy, it wouldn't be good for me at all. And I'd probably stay home all the time. So I want to be able to go out. And so I get to choose how I'm going to react. Am I going to be the victim, or am I going to be like the freedom giver? And if I'm the only one that's free in the place, then that's totally cool. But it's amazing, like all of us know, that once you're projecting this energy of just like calm and stability and all of those things, people can feel that around you. It's almost kind of like the invisible force field, if you ask me. So first thing we're going to do in order to stay gracious and not give in to the chaos and overwhelm is that we're going to ask, who are we focusing on? Are we focusing on ourselves, or are we focusing on other people or the situation, and bringing in that compassionate piece for it too. The second thing we're going to do is you're going to take a moment to breathe. How many of you forget to breathe? Sometimes I forget to breathe. Super simple. We all know that this is something that we need to do, yet sometimes we just get overwhelmed and we forget to breathe. So if you do only one thing, breathe. Tammy says, oh my God, I needed to hear this tonight. I just told myself earlier to breathe. Yes, the breath is huge. It really reduces the flight or fight system that we have that just makes us take off. So Gail says always. And I think too, not only the energy outside, but for me, there's a lot of things about the I can't say it. Anyway, the material part of the holidays that has really got me kind of thinking more and more the older I get. So I have a little bit of anxiety about that, and then I kind of readjust and always focusing on what do I want to be, how do I want to be interacting, because if I'm going to remain authentic to myself, I need to know how I'm going to do that. And I constantly need to be reminding myself, is this the way you want to be interacting? Is this the energy you want to be giving off? And sometimes I'll say yes, and I just do it. Which leads us to the next point, is it's like, ask yourself, how do you want to feel? How many of you have made a comment or reacted and you made a choice to react that way, and then you went back later and you're like, dang it. No bueno, I never should have done that. Right? But in the moment, maybe you were like, oh, hey, well, I'm just going to accept the consequences that come with this, and that's it. Little did you know that this was really how you were going to really end up feeling about it. Yeah, I've done that actually quite a few times, and sometimes in my stages of growth, I was just like, well, I'm doing this and it doesn't matter. And then I come out either feeling more lonely than I was before because I wasn't considering anybody else but myself. I almost never take it. Take what back? Margaret, tell me why you're not taking back. And so then I'm like, okay, this is not how I want to be feeling. If you're logging on, please make sure to say hi. I'd love to say hi to you. We're talking about how to be gracious in times of overwhelm and chaos. We're celebrating Thanksgiving this week. It's supposed to be a time of gratitude and giving, and so how do we remain gracious when some of that just falls to the wayside? So I would like to know from any of you, what are some things that you do in order to remain gracious in times of chaos and overwhelm? So you can type them in on the comments down there. Let us know, because if we can share with each other, there must be a really long lag. Hey Karen, Margaret, if you speak your truth always, then you never have to take it back. Yes. Sometimes though, Margaret, I have to go back and I have to say, that's not how I wanted to say that. That does happen to me. Less, more than before. But there's still times when I'd have to say, you know what, that's not really how I intended that to come out. So I can still speak my truth, but you know, my last caveat to that is being respectful to myself and towards someone else. I mean, that's really important for me. But you're right, I'm terrible at gracious. So I don't know if it's a lag, but give me some ideas on what you guys are doing to remain gracious in times of chaos and overwhelm. Because maybe some of you are going to be experiencing chaos and overwhelm in as little as 2 hours, 24 hours, 48 hours. Going to have lots of people over, going to be cooking lots of food, and although that's always a great time, there may be some stress and chaos and overwhelm. I ask myself if it will really matter in a year. That is phenomenal, Dawn. That's really true. Wow. That's simple and profound. That's what I ask myself when I get rid of my stuff. Like, have I seen it in a year? If I haven't, I just let go of it. But that's so awesome. Thanks, Dawn. How many of you like Dawn's comment? Thumbs up, hearts. My flaw is telling the truth. That is obvious. Doesn't need to be said. LOL. Yeah. Or next month, or next week. Yes. I just referred they owe me. Oh my gosh, Margaret, you're killing me. Karen says, I walk out to nature even if it's a backyard. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I want to hear some more things. Nature, as most of you know, is my resting place. You know, it's really where I can connect. And that's why I went down to the river trail this last Friday with the dog on freaking Let It Go Friday. So anyone else want to put some ideas out there about how they remain gracious? The other thing is I make sure I get enough sleep. So I was going to say I try to get enough sleep because sometimes just my body hormonally is out of balance and I don't sleep that well. And I really try to be gracious with myself. And so if I need to sleep longer, or if I can sleep in, or if I can take a nap, or if I can just kind of decompress during the day, I do that too. Sleep is so important, so important. So I'm not seeing, let me see what time it is. Okay, 6:46. So the other thing I wanted to remind you guys of, if you haven't registered for the Badass Belief Mastery Challenge, you can still go watch the videos. There's something wrong with video 6. I think that's the one where we got disconnected a lot. So I wasn't able to rewatch that one. However, still go on there and register. Encourage other people to register, and you'll be sent a email giving you access to the workshop. And so we've had already some people register, so I think that's awesome. I think it's going to be a really profound time for people to really just jack up the badass beliefs and know how to go through this process over and over and over again as you get new badass beliefs. It's also going to be a really good time for you to practice in front of people you trust. Just like I did on day 7. You know, you get to practice in this workshop stating what your badass beliefs are, and we're all going to be there with you. And so I think that's one of the most beneficial things that are going to come out of this workshop that I'm super excited about. And then you'll be creating and manifesting so much faster. Just like my badass belief said, you're collapsing the timeline. That's what you're going to be doing. Gail says, I sometimes have to visualize that I'm full of armor like Iron Man, so negative energy can't reach me. Sometimes we have to do that. How many of you on here are more highly sensitive people? You would consider yourself a highly sensitive person? Margaret says, maybe it's dysfunction, but sometimes I just go outside and throw some shit or scream out loud. Hey, whatever works. You're not hurting yourself or someone else. I mean, sometimes you just gotta go, like I used to go work out all the time. Karen says, Margaret, LOL. Oh my gosh. You guys are cracking me up. Yes. So, Mimi. Okay. So, you're going to figure out, who am I focusing on? Myself? So that I can be a victim? Like what everything is happening to? Or are you going to focus on the freedom that you currently have? Because that'll shift your mindset pretty quickly. Then you're going to take time to take a breath. Super simple. Unfortunately, we don't do it all the time when we need to. Take a breath. And then you're going to ask yourself, who do I want to be? What am I responsible for? What are you responsible for in this minute? And that's kind of like the thing, when you're not absorbing other people's energy, it's because it's not yours to absorb. You don't need to absorb that. You can just leave them, like, right there. And then, how will I feel if? How will I feel if I make this decision? How will I feel like if I make this other decision? Give it a little forethought, and make this prefrontal cortex come into action here, right? Figuring out what's the likelihood of the outcome. And then Dawn said on here, ask yourself, like, what it's going to mean or what's going to matter in a year, right? Or next week or next month. Is it really going to matter? And then Gail says that you can also protect yourself with a visualization of some armor. The other thing I like to suggest that people visualize is like a permeable membrane. But you're the one that gets to decide what enters and what doesn't. Going on a couple good bike rides this weekend, good stress reliever. Yes, yes, yes. I have my turkey trot sweatshirt on for this year. We went and got them early. We're not going to be at the turkey trot here, but we're going to do the Run to Feed the Hungry in Sacramento. I'm not running, I'm just going to walk. But that'll be fun too. Margaret says introspection, like in general. Who am I focusing on? Take a breath. How will it feel? The other one was, who am I focusing on? Take a breath. Ask yourself what you're responsible for. Karen, you're so great at this. I love that. Thank you so much. So we can get it all in there. So, yeah, don't forget about registering for the challenge if you haven't already. It's totally free. You'll just be able to access the workshop. I'm really excited for those of you that have already registered for the workshop, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be next Wednesday at 7 p.m. We're going to use GoToMeeting, so we're going to be able to see each other and interact and all of those kinds of things. So that's going to be really what's different from doing a live Facebook video. And look for some other things that are going to be coming up. I will be here on Friday at Freaking Let It Go Friday, because I got to be committed to these things because I love it and I'm excited about offering this stuff. If you guys have other things for Truth Serum Tuesday, other subjects that you would like to have on here or featured on, please make sure to post it in the comments or send me a private Facebook message. I would love to make sure that you guys are getting the topics that you want to be talking about. The next topic for True Serum Tuesday is going to be all about starting to plan. It's going to be about starting to plan for 2017. Just planting some seeds so that you can start finding out. And then I'm going to show you or give you some of the resources that I am going to be using. In fact, I got one in the mail today and it's so exciting. So I will be sharing that with you so that we can start really getting rid of a procrastination and getting rid of the failure of a feeling of failure that you might get when you make a New Year's resolution and it never comes true. So I really want to start planting the seeds now, because then it seems like foundationally you have what you need to have more success. All right, Karen says, do I have to wear makeup next week at go-to meeting? No. I just have some mascara on, and I gotta get my eyebrows on there, but you be however you wanna be on there. It's all about authenticity, right? That's what this group is about. Accepting each other just as we are, without judgment. Complete, whole, and perfect already. So don't worry about that. And I don't think that it'll be recorded to show somewhere else. I'll record it just so I have what we have talked about on there, but I don't think it'll be a visual as of yet. All right, so if you haven't registered for the workshop, or if you haven't signed up for the challenge, make sure so that I can send you the email to register for the workshop. And I'd love to have each and every one of you there. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up so that you can get back. I don't know if many of you have family home, or you're prepping, but it can be I don't want to add any stress. So I thank you all for being here. Does anyone else have a question? Anyone else have a comment? I hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. So type it in the comments really quick, and I'll wait just a couple of seconds. Although the couple of seconds is probably how long it takes for it to get to me. Make sure to post your suggestions on other True Serum Tuesday topics, because I love, and make sure to like and share. Always like and share. We want to get this out to as many women as we can so that they can be inspired. We just never know who we're going to go ahead and touch. So, all right. Dawn says happy Thanksgiving. I'm going to go ahead and sign. Oh, Karen says happy Thanksgiving, ladies. Margaret, yes. I love you women on here. I just love it. I love it. I love it. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday, and I will see you for sure on Friday morning. I will talk to you later. Hugs and kisses. Bye.